I have a theory, totally untested, other than having seen it in evidence with the men that I've worked with, and I call it the black crayon theory. And I've run this past a lot of men that I've worked with, and they agree with it, and most women that I've spoken with about it can understand it too. So I'm going to share the theory of the black crayon with you. So I have this theory that women, when they are born, are given a box of crayons. And in that box, we have all of the different color crayons, except black. We don't have a black crayon. So we have red, and we have pink, and we have yellow, and we have orange. And we learn to use all of those crayons. Now, those crayons are our emotions. And so we learn to use all of our emotions, and also, more importantly, to dialogue about those emotions. So speak about the emotions. We have a name for them, and we can talk about them with people. My theory is that men, on the other hand, are only given one crayon. They're given a black crayon. It's the one crayon that we don't have. Black is the color of anger. The black crayon represents anger. And so men are taught to transmute all of their emotions, whether that be fear or resentment or, shame, or even vulnerability. They transmute that into anger. Anger is the emotion that we teach men and boys they're allowed to have. And so men use this black crayon. They don't have all of the different colors that we have. And so what happens is when a woman uses all of those other emotions, all of the other colored crayons, a man feels like she's being overly emotional, and he doesn't have a dialogue for all of those emotions. And so he feels quite overwhelmed and unsure of what to do. He can't relate to these emotions. And it's, we hear a lot of men talk about women's emotions as though they are unreasonable, and it's like they shrug their shoulders and go, oh my God, women, what they're like, they're overly emotional. They're not overly emotional. They just have access to more of their emotions because that's what they're socialized to do. And boys, on the other hand, are not socialized to have access to the full range of all of their emotions. And so I always used to bring out a box of crayons when I'm working with men's groups, and I would say, well, here are all the crayons that your partner has. I'd show them all the colors, and I'd give them the black crayon and say, here's the crayon that you have. Now, just because you don't have all of those other crayons doesn't mean that she shouldn't have them and that she's not reasonable when she uses those crayons. And vice versa. When a man falls heavily on that black crayon because it's the only one he knows how to use, he's not at fault either. We need to learn to socialize both boys and girls differently so that they've all got access to all of the different colored crayons in the pack.